How do you become a better person? How do you become a better person? How do you understand yourself better than anybody else can? How do you understand yourself better than anyone else could ever tell you about yourself? Meditation's a great way. Recording is a great way. You got to get yourself out of your head at some point. Most of us have been stuck in what I call consumer mode. We've been stuck in consumer mode. All we do is consume. I still consume a lot of content, but at the same time, I balance it out with making sure that I take time to create as well. Creating is just as equally important as consuming positive information. Some of us, what they call mental constipation. Some of us are stuck in mental constipation. We get in this rabbit hole of learning and we use the activity, that act of learning, as an excuse for not putting in the actual work that's required in order for us to move forward. There is work that's still required. Once you're aware, education is simply for awareness sake. Everything else is work. The education portion is simply to teach you something you didn't know. But once you know, now it's time to put on your boots. Start making cold calls. So if anything, if you're scared of work, you need to stop learning. Until you're ready to put in the work. I would even argue and say that it's more advantageous for you to start working and educate yourself after. Once you've fucked up. If action is something that holds you back. A lot of people use perfection as the excuse for not taking action. I used to. I wanted to know exactly what to say, how to say it. Now, I'm calling. I'm approaching that girl. I don't give a fuck. I'm falling forward. Now, there's a base education that would be advantageous for you to have before, let's say, calling someone about a product that you just learned about. But realistically, none of it matters. That first phone call is going to be what it is anyway. Whether they buy or not is irrelevant. The fact that you called is what matters. And most times, they're not going to make the purchase the first call. The first cold call you make, the first interaction you make with the girl in the marketplace, that first interaction is not going to be what you expect. So you may as well just do it anyway. What do you think? I guess think about the opposite. It was like, what? So you think that first person you talk to in the market is going to just say yes and allow you to, invite her over? She's going to say, absolutely, I want to come over. You think that's how it's going to work? No, it's not. You're going to have to put in work. You're going to have to meet multiple people. And let me ask you, do you think that every girl that you meet, everything's going to go smooth, that the conversation's going to go perfect, you're going to be able to connect and relate perfectly with every girl you meet, and, she's going to say, absolutely, you're such a great person, you're a great guy, let's go out, you think that's what's going to happen? I think your expectation is what's stopping you. Your incorrect expectation or your incorrect expectation is what's holding you back. You think the outcome that you think you're going to get is what's holding you back. Even people that are masters at, let's say, cold calling, or meeting people in the market, or whatever, personal development, like talking on stage, even those people, they still fuck up. After so many years, so you think that day one, you're just going to be a fucking grand slam out of the park? This is what I call Hollywood mentality. A lot of us, we have this Hollywood mentality where we think everything is perfect. We forget about the bloopers. We forget about the amount of times that the director said lights, camera, action. We forget about those. In fact, most of us aren't even aware. So we're looking at the world through a lens of perfection, when in reality, what made perfect was a complete opposite. It was a ton of fuck-ups. Blood, sweat, tears, waking up early. Everything that's important to succeed was ignored. That's part of the reason why I document most of my journey. Not because I've made it, but because I've always known that I will. And in that thought, I've made it. In that belief, I've made it. And I've also thought in advance. I'm talking about years down the road. Before, like 5-7 years ago, I said, bro, if somebody, well, I'll take it a step further. There was someone that had wrote me years ago, and they said, "Oh, you've been given a silver spoon," or some shit like that. I didn't even know what that meant when they told me that. Silver spoon. What the fuck you talking about? And I probably didn't even react like that because I didn't really know. But I know with time, I kind of found out what it was, and I was like, "What? The fuck you talking about, silver spoon?" This person doesn't know. What it was is my lifestyle, my life. I seemed like I had it, but I was still out there. Nobody was giving me things. I was putting in work. I was working every day. I've always worked for my shit. Now I've been blessed, but I've been blessed because I was working. It wasn't like I was just sitting around not doing nothing. The attraction I got, the women that blessed me, the things that women wanted to do for me was because of the work that I was putting in outside of just the work that I was putting in for myself, living my life. But the first time that somebody said that, I was like, all right. And then when I went through a couple of things, and I knew that I didn't want anybody. I knew I was gonna win, and I didn't want anybody to say anything. That I'm fake. I thought about that. I was like, that they couldn't do it. That I made it because of X, Y, Z. It's like, nah, hell no. You gotta keep pushing, guys. I've been listening to a few things, and the reality is, bro, nobody gives a fuck about you as much as you think. I could pass away right now, and whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. The police guys are gonna come, the ambulance, they do their thing. Maybe a few people know that I passed away, and that's it. And it doesn't even change. The higher up you go, the more people you impact, same shit. Maybe you're known a little bit longer. Maybe there's more awareness around your name because you obviously already have a following. But outside of that, business as usual. Next day in the office. Granted, there's going to be a few people that cry. They're still thinking about you a little bit. They have a picture of you on their screen, so you're still top of mind. But guess what? Seven months down the road, their phone cracked. Now they got a new phone. New screensaver. They forgot about you. And yeah, maybe a reminder comes. Maybe there's another ad or something that comes, or a picture of you that reminds them of you. But realistically, that's it. So why do I say that? Is because a lot of times, even me, I hesitate on recording. I hesitate on creating content. I hesitate on stuff mainly because I'm judging myself. And ultimately, the goal is for me to get my time, to get my freedom, to really live life and experience what it's like. A lot of people ask, like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? It's like, I don't fucking know. I just know that I'll figure it out when I have the time to actually think it through. Most people are making decisions, or I'll say me, I have always made a decision based off income. I want to make a decision based off life choice. Not based off, okay, I got to do this. I got to take care of X, Y, Z because I got X amount. I got to take care of these bills. This is the type of job that I qualify for. So I got to adjust. I got to pivot. I got to choose this. I got to choose this place. I got to buy this because I'm not going to spend $40 on a meal because of this. And every decision most people make is based off their income level. So when you ask, what do you want to do? That's the wrong question. It's like, motherfucker, I'll figure that out and I'm okay with that. Now, am I taking away from goals? No. If there's a practical way to get to that point, that's different. If somebody asks you, what do you want to do? It's like, you got to ask, that's the wrong question. It's like, are you wanting to know, what am I going to do to get to the point of actually choosing what I want to do? Or, like, how do I want to live? You know what I'm saying? Because to me, that's a difference. To me, there's a big difference. Now, fortunately, unfortunately, I believe that we have to structure our goals towards things that we actually want to do. We have to find a way we have to find something that allows us to be in something we enjoy. That's what I'm trying to say. But that doesn't take away from us still having to do shit that we're not going to want to do. We're still going to have to do shit no matter what. No matter what goals you have, no matter how far into the process you are, you're going to always have to do shit that you don't want to do. have to. So, seriously, man. That, guys, I just encourage you to keep pushing, if not for yourself, for the world, and don't get hung up on not providing value, what people consider value, because hey, if it's not valuable to somebody today, it could be in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, and if at the very least you're becoming the best version of yourself by improving your tone of voice, improving the way you deliver a message, the way you enunciate words, whatever the case may be, look at the bright side of it. Especially if it's something that you want to do. If it's something that you want to do, if it leads to a lifestyle that you ultimately want, then now at that point you really need to shut out the noise. Because regardless, like I started off, nobody cares about you as much as you think until it's too late. And even then, does it really matter? Even if they do care about you, does it matter? Care is not going to pay the bills. You still got to do what you need to do. You still need to follow through on your own vision, on your own goals. You still need to live out your purpose, regardless if people care about you or not. Thinking about the opposite is huge. Keep growing, keep developing, guys, non-stop.